With over 300 students participating, 28 new pieces, and almost 100 performances, the New Works Festival is one of the largest amateur theater performances in Austin. Also, some faculty members have encountered problems with the construction. City officials have decided on a new police chief. Christina Ramirez explains his plans for Austin. Fort Hood Sergeant Lawrence Sprader died from hypothermia and dehydration. Sprader went missing 5 days ago after a solo navigation and map reading training exercise. His body...
Well, I like that idea for the Rocky show because my dad's a big Sylvester Stallone fan. He's watched like all the Rambos, so I think that's a good idea. I think that'll be fun.
Yeah, my dad's had a watch that's probably older than I am, so probably about time I get him a new one.
Right.
Well, thank you for joining us tonight. To view this show again or to see previous editions, find the link to Texas Newswatch on the web at journalism.utexas.edu.
Join us here next Tuesday for the latest edition of Texas Newswatch. Good night.
William Shakespeare, Arthur Miller, Neil Simon, and Tennessee Williams. Some of the world's greatest playwrights had to start somewhere, and the next generation of theater buffs got their chance at the Co-op New Works Festival. Denise Martell is the producer of this year's festival, and she describes how extensive the preparations are.
When we take over the whole building for all this semester, all the rehearsal rooms, every room in this building has been booked all semester with shows from the festival rehearsing, so it takes about a year.
Started in 2001, the festival provides an opportunity for students to write, perform, and produce original works. With over 300 students participating, 28 new pieces, and almost 100 performances, the New Works Festival is one of the largest amateur theater performances in Austin. Sarah Myers is a PhD student, and her play was selected to be featured at the festival.
It feels really exciting. It feels like a big kind of thing I'm starting. I don't really know what I'm getting into.
Her play, God of the Gaps, deals with the controversy surrounding the idea of intelligent design. The Saturday night show, while free, ran out of tickets in 20 minutes. Theater patrons came from Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, and the dorms.
It was actually to get a grade in class.
For Sarah, the performance is just as important as the experience.
It's really wonderful to be able to work with a lot of my colleagues, who I see mostly as colleagues and other students, as also artists and actors too.
Michael Gould, Texas Newswatch.
And Lewis with a two-handed jam. Say goodnight to Texas.
The UT Longhorns' run at the NCAA tournament is over. Freshman phenom Kevin Durant scored 30, but it wasn't enough to beat the USC Trojans. Head coach Rick Barnes elaborates.
I'm disappointed in that we had been a team this year that had found a way to work through some tough situations, and today we weren't able to do it.
Without a true center, Texas struggled against USC's penetration, allowing the Trojans to shoot 5 for 11 on threes in the first half.
Steps into it and ring it up for three.
The big question after the game was if Kevin Durant would return for another season.
I don't think that's an appropriate question right now.
While Durant might not seem sure, many Longhorns believe the 40 acres are not in Durant's immediate future.
I probably don't see it happening just because he's really pushing Vince Young territory in terms of talent and what he can gain, because obviously his game's NBA ready.
A lot of people want him to come back, but it's not something that's going to happen because there's too much money for him in the pros.
I think Durant would be crazy not to leave. I'd like him to stay, but it just doesn't make sense financially for him to do it.
I'm just worried about this team and what we could be next year as a team.
Michael Gould, Texas Newswatch. It's just past 1 a.m. and sophomore Jane Doe is starting her psychology reading. We'll call her Jane Doe because she requested we hide her identity. The late-night studying of hers has become routine. She's involved in 3 student organizations, a sorority, has a part-time job, and has a boyfriend. She's taking 17 hours at UT and still maintains a 3.8 GPA. How does she do it? She abuses the prescription drug Adderall.
If you're one of many with a 3.2 and no extracurriculars, you're nothing.
The National Center on Addiction and Substance Abuse at Columbia University released a study this month that shows in the last 15 years, abuse of stimulants like Ritalin and Adderall by college students has gone up 93%. Currently, there are no prevention classes at UT for stimulant abuse. The university views alcohol abuse as a bigger problem, as up to 40% of students drink alcohol in a dangerous way. Drug and Alcohol Education Coordinator Chuck Roper says a study performed by UT last spring found nearly 2,500 students have or currently abuse Adderall.
Adderall is speed.
Yet most don't know the potential legal consequences.
It's in the nature of a state jail felony. It's a lot more significant than possession of marijuana or minor possession of alcohol.
Jane doesn't see her Adderall use as cheating. She sees it as another way to get ahead.
You're trying every day to stand out amongst the few, be that person who gets the scholarship, maybe goes to a good law school, good grad school. You sort of need that extra push.
To get that extra push, Jane, along with thousands of other UT students, are willing to do anything, legal or not. Michael Gould, Texas News Watch.